Wait, stop the music! Hold it! Stop the music! Ladies and gentlemen.
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 Can I please have your attention? It's showtime. Are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
Well, hello everybody. How you doing today? Happy Saturday, or whatever day it happens to be when you tune into this video. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Liz Marasco, and I love helping entrepreneurs, nonprofits, and business leaders get on track with their online content. And today I'm kind of excited because we're going to talk about something I really enjoy, live streaming. And part of that is going to include going through some of the studio gear that I use for all of the work that I do for myself and for clients. And hopefully, maybe you can pick up a couple tips along the way of some stuff that can help you. But the big thing that I want to suggest to you is it's an ongoing process. Like with everything, don't try to buy it all at once. Otherwise, you might experience this. I can't take it anymore. It's too expensive. You got to kind of build it into a little bit at a time and finding the right things for you at the right time with the right budget, because it is an investment. It's an investment into your business, and, you know, it takes time. So be patient. Unless you happen to be somebody that has a lot of big bucks, find deals, find little things each week, each month that help you fill in the gap. And it's not typically built overnight, unless you happen to be somebody that does have a really big budget. Maybe you can hire somebody to come in, get out all the gear. And I'm a techie person, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to walk around and say, hey, I got this done in a week or even a year. Each thing created a new level of, we'll call it excellence. Here we go. We'll go with the butterflies today. We'll do butterflies. But each incident allowed me to step up and get a little bit better with my live streaming. And that did include taking, some training and watching different videos online to teach me software. Like in the case right now, I'm using Ecamm, which is by far my favorite live streaming software. For PC, an alternative is vMix, but I'm a Mac person. And I think even above and beyond just the software, the community within Ecamm is very unique. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, our software community is all blah, 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 we come together. Maybe some of it is they're using branding to say that they come together, but in Ecamm, it's legitimate, where you'll see people reaching out, helping others overcome obstacles, helping others see their business model in a different way, because it is a unique skill set to be able to do live streaming and, like in a full production broadcast. And, when you have like minds gathering together and that circle of influence is willing to support each other in a positive way, some really incredible things happen. So anyhow, by far, Ecamm's my favorite. They do have a trial where you can try Ecamm for, I think, 14 days. And then if you like it, you can sign up. I think I eventually will come out here and do a couple tutorials to show you Ecamm from my perspective of how I do my setup, how I do my flow, and I think also the logic that I use for understanding Ecamm. I'm not going to say it's, the most impossible software to learn, but there's a little bit of a learning curve. However, along with that learning curve, there are so many features and benefits that your business will receive by going through that. So it's growing pains, but you grow into something, I think, pretty amazing. So anyhow, happy Saturday to all of you. Let me know how you are doing. If you are here with me live, let me know, what state are you in? I am in the beautiful state of Michigan, and it's a crisp winter day. So we're still in the winter season. So tomorrow, you guys remember, put your clocks back and spring forward. Put your clocks forward 1 hour. I don't know. Spring, I have a really hard time with that daylight savings. I wish they'd just leave it alone. Just let me chill. The fall one's nice because you kind of get to sleep in a little bit and, get into that cozy kind of frame. So anyhow, who wants to talk about live streaming gear? I do. I'm a little bit of a geek, you guys. I like technology. I like learning it, but more importantly, I love implementing it. So everything that I'm going to talk to you about today are products that I actually use, and, maybe you'll find something that you like. So, okay, listen, let me squeeze over here for half a second and see. This is a little video that I pulled together earlier. And let me see if I can stop this. I want to go back a half a second. This was something I recently did. Do you see the curtains back here? Those are actually blackout curtains. And I ended up getting those because recording at different times of the day, it brings in different light. So the room that I'm in, there's 2 windows on each side of where I have my whole studio gear set up. So closing those and doing blackout curtains allowed me to have better control over the light and not have different times that I'm recording something and then the color's off, or there's a big change from the lighting. So this was something that I recently did. And I'm glad that I did, because I've been using it. I did a recording for a client a couple of weeks ago, right after I put these up. And it did make it easier. It wasn't like trying to get in there at a certain time to record. So, okay, let me go forward. So this is the monitor that I'm normally looking at when I'm streaming. And you can see I have Ecamm up in the background there. What I do is I typically have my computer or my camera right in front of my computer, but I did move it over a little bit for this little shot. And you can see I'm using the Sony ZV-E10. Is that it? ZV-E10 Sony. I ended up getting that this past year, and it made a huge difference. Before that, though, this is something I want to say to you. Before getting this, I do have like a Canon and stuff like that, but the Sony is fantastic for live streaming. Before I acquired this, I ended up just using my cell phone, and it worked perfect for a long time, like a long time. And my cell phone worked better than my webcam. So it was pretty fantastic. Okay, so let's just move forward a little bit, show you a little bit more. What do I have going on? A little bit of mess on my desk. Now this right here, I switched to the Mac M1 Mini. I'll talk to you about this a little bit. I actually did this whole upgrade for my streaming, and purchased it specifically for streaming because my other Mac that I have wasn't quite powerful enough, but it took me about a year to come to that realization and make that investment. And you can see that I have a port down there. Most of the cords come out the back of it. So I've got some spaghetti noodles going on, you can tell. This is one of my favorite pieces of equipment, my Stream Deck. It makes it super easy for being able to navigate between scenes, add sound effects, and so much more. I also recently upgraded to a smart mouse and keyboard, and then my Zoom interface is how I'm doing my audio. And you can get into some really cool stuff with audio, but for now, this is sort of the setup I'm using. See all the fuzzies I got all over my microphone? I really need to clean that up. I need to clean that up like something fierce. So that gives you an idea of some of the pieces that I use to live stream. And I was showing you a minute ago. Let me see if I can pull it up. This is that Stream Deck. And this little thing is so incredibly powerful. I think this is one of my favorite things when it comes to live streaming, and it actually even works beyond live streaming. So for instance, it basically just becomes an extension of your keyboard, and you program each of these buttons to do a specific function. And it could be, going to the next scene in my live stream that I've set up, or it could be pulling up a video, or like I have these programmed to play audio. So we've got like the DJ horn. Little applause for you. I think is that fairy dust? Maybe this one's fairy dust. I'm trying to do it backwards. So this is pretty incredible. It also has where you can, I'm going back and forth between the slides. Okay, let me go right here. It has it where you can program multiple layers into it. So if I hit this button, it'll be, let me go back here. If I hit this button, it'll be another sequence of buttons that I have programmed. So let's say that you have a couple of different live streams for yourself or a client. You can have those set up on different screens. I have the medium size one. And I was told beforehand, no, definitely get the extra large. And I didn't. I probably should have. But for now, it's functioning, perfect for what I need. But eventually I might do an upgrade and get the extra large and then use this maybe just for audio. It just makes it easier when you have everything mapped out, so you know exactly what you're going to do and what button to push. Sort of like if you look at like the home cooking shows that you see on TV, and they have everything set up in those little petri dishes of other little herbs and other little things that they're going to add to the recipe, and then they're just dumping it in. The Stream Deck allows that, and I absolutely love it. So even moving above and beyond that, Stream Deck can be programmed to do a sequence of steps. So let's say that every day you come in and you know that you are going to be designing in Final Cut, or you're going to go to, we'll say, a specific spot in Facebook. Like let's say that you're trying to get to your ads manager. Normally that might be a sequence of 5 different mouse clicks, which doesn't sound like a big deal. However, if you program it once on Stream Deck, you can literally have it where you push this button and it'll do the sequence steps of click this, open this, enter this, password, and then it'll take you exactly to that destination without you having to do all those other steps. And that can be helpful, especially if you are, working in a tight time parameter for like producing something live, or just even like your daily life, trying to get through it. So I love it, and it's a little bit of fun. You also have the ability to program your buttons right here. So let me see if I can go to one. Like I have one that I think that's like the horn and the clapping hands. So I know visually when I'm streaming live, if I click that button, what I'm going to get. So yeah, a lot of fun. Even if I did, I'm not going to do that right now because I might end up in another folder, but you can push out your call to action. Like if you wanted somebody to sign up for, a program that you're having, you can instantly hit that button. Your website or your call to action things will automatically pop up. So And then let me see if this one goes. Oh, nope, I don't have it programmed. But I even have, in one of my other setups, I have it, like if I hit a button, confetti will go off, so it could be if somebody makes a great comment while you're live, push the confetti, push to the clapping hands, and it just makes it where it's a little bit more engaging. So I want to know from you guys, for your studio gear, for your camera, are you using a webcam, an external cam, or are you using your cell phone? I'd love to know from you, what are you using? For the longest time, this was my go-to for all my videos. And I would literally plug it into, might be able to do it. I'd plug it into my computer, and Ecamm is incredibly powerful. We might just do a live demo, see if it works easily as it normally does. But I literally plug it right into my computer, and Ecamm is so powerful, it immediately acknowledges that there's another camera. And I think that you might be able to do up to, is it like 7 cameras? So if I wanted, I could have, a back angle camera showing you behind the scenes, a front, a side. And if you get into higher production, these are things that are worth investing, because it does make your live stream more interesting, but it's not something that you have to have. And that's a gift, is if you don't have to have it, you can take your time. But there's some people that this is, their gig of what they're doing. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to Ecamm, and let me see. There it goes. It acknowledged my phone. Okay. So let me close that. All right, so this is like my cell phone. And I used that for a long time. And it was a great interface. One of the things that you can do is Elgato. They have a driver that you can use to convert your cell phone into be a live stream cam, and it just makes it fun. Let me see what happens if I go reverse, look down. So it's like the live stream mess. And then I always have my chapstick because my lips always get so dry. What do I have this time? I think it's Mango Burt's. Good stuff. All right, so that's enough of that. Let me shut this down. Boom. We'll get rid of that little. But that's the beautiful thing. You saw how easy that was with Ecamm, of literally plugging in my phone, and my camera was instantly there. So I love that stuff. All right, so I'm going to show you something else that I have set up, because I can show you all these little things, like that little video that I showed you. But I think that it does help to have an idea. Whoops, let me go over here. Hold on one second. I had this, I just have to pull it up. Hold on one second. This is my Amazon account that I have, my live streaming Amazon account. And I created one folder right here called Studio Gear. And I thought I'd run through this with you really quick and talk to you a little bit about, what is the gear that I have. There's a link, I think, in the description to take you to my Amazon page. And if you do purchase anything, the great thing is it doesn't cost you anything, but we do get a really small affiliate commission. So it's a great way to support what I'm trying to do over here, to share free content and help everybody. So listen, let me dig in here for half a second. One of the things is, like I was talking to you at the very beginning, I was sharing how all these things can add up really quick. What is interesting is sometimes you don't even realize the frivolous things that you need for live streaming, and it adds up, whether it's a microphone stand or, a special cord that you need for something. All these different things add up. And I think if you are just starting off, where I would prioritize is, first and foremost, work on your audio. And this is something that I'm even perfecting, but the very first piece of gear that I purchased was this. Let me see if I can scroll down to it. It was this Zoom controller, not Zoom like the software. Where did it go? Where are you at? Oh, right here. Okay. So this was the very first thing that I did purchase was the portable recorder for Zoom. And it is beautiful because you do have the option to take this. You can go anywhere with it. It does not have to be plugged into a computer. It's great for if you want to start a podcast. And that was actually the original reason why I bought it was I was doing a lot of interviews at a local hospital with doctors and dietitians and nurses. So I have a backpack that I use and I fill up all my gear, these little portable mics that I have. In fact, maybe I should bring my audio right here. But these little portable mics that I had so that we could talk face to face. And then after COVID happened, obviously we started getting into staying at home more and then doing more of the live remote broadcast and that sort of got me into more of the streaming instead of pre-recorded content. So the whole point of me saying this to you, I think that one of the most important parts of whether you're doing podcast or you're doing live stream is to have really good audio. The better the audio, the better for you. If you have lousy audio, people will not stay. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. However, if your videos may be not quite as crisp and clean, but they can hear you really good, people will stay. So keep this in mind as you start to prioritize what are the things that you should get. First and foremost, get your audio fixed. And you'll always be upgrading and tweaking, but starting there is key. And I think doing that can give you like a little milestone goal of what to do first. Work on your audio first. So let me see here. It does have, like on this package, they have like the cords that come with it because it's different kind of cords that you use. And what else? I guess the big key part is just having access to it. One thing I do like right here, you'll see this is their microphone going out in two different directions. This is perfect if you're trying to do a remote recording and you have two people because it's capturing that audio. So it definitely was worth the investment. It did make me a little bit reluctant. Should I get this? It's so small, but it's incredibly powerful. So, okay, so let me move over into here. One of the other things that I was sharing with you is the camera that I purchased. Now, there's been some difficulty getting some of the electronics that are so popular. So you might have to search around if it's not in this. Let's see, is it available on here? Yeah, it looks like this one's available. Okay, so $9.99 for the mirrorless camera. And this is perfect for streaming. So, what's it say? The world's fastest. Okay. And to tell you the truth, like for me, I bought this specifically for live streaming. So I don't have an objective of taking this and moving this around and, going out shooting with it. However, I'm sure it would do great. I'm originally more of a Canon type chick, but the reviews off the Sony were so fantastic. I decided to give it a try, and I'm glad that I did. So anyhow, this was one of the more recent things that I picked up last year is, and it was worth the investment, So let me see. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is the Sony 6100. This is not the one that I have. I have the Sony, is it ZV-E10? That's the one that I have. I must have accidentally put that in there. So that's something to check out. Find out which one works best for you. And I don't know why it keeps going back to this main screen after I go back. All right. So moving into your microphone, I mean, you can get into some really cool stuff with like the arms, you know, holding the microphone. For me, right now, I'm using just these regular stands. I did have one that was an arm. It was like a medium priced arm, but it kept doing like this squeak sound while I was live. So I moved it and I brought this in here. And this always goes back to like perfecting and improving with each stream. And, you know, even listening, what are the sounds in the background? Like one thing that I can't stand that I need to update on my stream is when I move my mouse, I'm getting that feedback because I do have this microphone sitting on my desk. So that'll be something that I'm addressing this year too. So, but patience and patience. Moving into lighting. Lighting is key, probably if not as important to your camera, maybe even more so, because if you have the lighting, if you have the correct lighting, you can make even a lousy camera work really well and show a great stream. Now there's different price points. I started off with some of the umbrella lights, which are a little bit bigger. They do take up a significant amount of floor space for the tight area that I'm working in. But I still, like right now, I still have one light over here that's shining in because I do have this another light, an Elgato light on my left. And, you know, so it still works great. I still use that. But for the most part, I've started using the Elgato lighting. I'm really happy with that. It's fantastic. It has a control for the lights to adjust the brightness and even the hue color of the light. And for the most part, it's fantastic. It has an app that I actually downloaded to my phone so I can control the lighting directly from my phone. The one thing that I don't like that I really wish that they had on here, and it's so basic, is I wish they just had an on-off switch on the actual base of the lamp, because I can only function these if I have my, you know, whole computer geared up, and you know, so that part I don't like so much. So for the app, it's basically right here. In fact, hold on, let's pull up our fancy little connection on our phone again. Ready? You ready, guys? All right, let me switch this on. Okay, so custom. Okay, stretch this out. Okay. All right, so this gives you an idea of like when I open up that app on my phone, I have the ability to adjust, you know, the contrast, the brightness. And in this case, I actually have 3 Elgato lights, and I just named them accordingly because I get confused very easily. So that I know, you know, this is my center light right here. I don't know if you can see it adjusting. I've got a snap cam filter on, so you know it's probably impacting. But see how it goes real bright or dark, depending on where I put that. And then the same thing with left, and then also like on right. So you can play around with that, and then have it preset so that when you turn on the lights, everything is already sequenced. And that goes back to, you know, why did I buy those blackout curtains? It was so, this made it easier of not trying to adjust my lighting and, you know, go to that flow. So, hey, let me know, do you guys have any lighting in your house or in your home studio or your business studio? You got any lighting? Talk to me, baby. What do you got? Lights, no lights? Lights, no lights, daylight. And I think that this is so important. I have seen people do interviews where they look like they're sitting in the dark. And sometimes it might be they have a window or a door window behind them and that light shining through. That you don't want to do that. You want the light shining onto you so that the camera can capture you. And I've seen it even with, professionals, that have been in business for decades. And it's like, man, I can't see a face. Throw a light on there, please. Please. So keep that in mind. And if you don't have the budget to get into the Elgato lights, it's all right. Look at doing some of these very affordable umbrella lights that you can get for, under $50, sometimes even $35 if you see them on sale and they got the great big light. Start off with one of those and then add on. And, don't be afraid to guinea pig and find out things that work for your live stream and some other things that just aren't. So I shared with you, this is that Shure microphone. That's what I'm using for mine. It works adequately. It's beautiful. They have more luxurious ones, and maybe one day when I get on a big budget, maybe I'll invest in one. But for the most part, this is serving my needs right now. I don't have the gorgeous setup like Joe Rogan, but maybe one day I will. But remember, you can acquire different things and then upgrade and then keep things that are more at the entry level available in case you need a backup, because backup plans are needed when you go live streaming because gear does go wrong. All right, so one of the other things that I think is key is bringing in, some different lighting. So the Govee lighting is pretty cool. They have, like this little remote control, and you have the ability to change the different colors, have, how bright you want the colors, what you want to have happen. Let me see, like I just went to teal blue. Might be able to see it behind me right there. Watch. And then we'll go purple. Let's see. There we go. Got some purple and even some blues. And you can play around with how bright you want it based on what you have going on. And this is actually really affordable, $16. And the strips of lighting, it comes on this long cord, if you will, that's really thin, incredibly thin, and the lights are like little circuits that go across it, but it casts off a pretty incredible color, and it's a great way to draw some attention that's interesting into your background. So, take a look at that. And also, if you go live streaming, try to be mindful of what's going on in your background. Does it look decent? Do you have, a bunch of, trash and stuff laying around? Do you need to clean up a little bit before you live stream? So look at your background, be aware of it. Maybe even before you go live, turn on your camera and then look behind you to see, what's being broadcast while you're live streaming. And in fact, it's funny because a lot of times I'll sit down and I'm like, wait a minute, what's that behind me? And it happened to me today, and I found like all these little Velcro things that I had because I'm doing a couple little adjustments in the studio today. And I'm like, what's this? What's that? What's this? And then like coffee mugs, like I had my coffee mug in the back. And so go do like a little cleanup, and minor things like that can be very helpful in making you look professional in the way that you present your video. So take a look at that. Do your cleanup. One of the other things too, these are super affordable, and these are wired earbuds for listening to your audio. Now, like today I have on just these headphones. It was fine. Those started bothering me because I did a lot of live streaming yesterday, and my ears got sore. I have small ears. So I ended up just putting these on. But I do really love the look of the sweatproof sports wired headphones. And it does have a long cord. I ended up, where's that at? Oh, no, I guess it's out of arm's reach. But I ended up purchasing that, and I found the cord was too short, so I was like stuck, I had to be right here. So I ended up getting an extension so that I had a little bit of flexibility so I could move around and swing my hands and talk and not worry about unplugging. But these are fantastic because they are clear. You plug them into your ears, wrap it around the back of your ear, and then down your back so you can't even see it. So for some people that don't like the look of headphones, this is a great alternative. And I've had it where I've heard people, they don't want to wear the headphones. They don't like the way it looks or how it impacts their hair. This is something that you should definitely consider, because if you're going to do live streaming where maybe you have some audio going on in the background, or you are doing a guest interview and their audio is coming through your system, you don't want to have it coming through and then you get that echo or slapback where it's repeating back through another device that is streaming and picking up that audio that's already coming through. So that's how you avoid it. You got to use the headphones. They do have features like echo cancellation and eCam and other software, but it's kind of like a Band-Aid. And this is a great way to make sure that you're still getting that crisp audio coming in and out. You can hear what's going on, and then you're not worried about the sound that's feeding out coming back into your live stream. So $15, throw them in your trunk drawer, and then when you're ready to go live stream, you have them available. So this was definitely a winner. I actually found out about these through Loria Petrucci at Live Streaming Pros. And I thought, well, let me try it out and see, and I was surprised because for $15, you wonder, is this trash? No, it was worth the $15. Very, very much so. So, okay, so let's talk about a little bit of the tech geeky stuff for a minute. I don't know how many of you are familiar with cam links, of doing a cam link, but what it offers is a more crisp feed for your streaming, for your video. So in this case of the Sony that I have it connected through another wire that goes into this cam link, and then that cam link is creating a higher quality video stream, and it's also reducing some of the lag time from when a stream is being pushed out. Like even with the audio, you'll find it's more on point when you're using a cam link. And I've been incredibly happy with that. I did do a side-by-side video comparing, what was the difference, and it was significant. It was noticeable. But, these can be a little bit pricey. So take your time. Actually, right now, this one's what, $90? Let me see. Yeah, $90. That's not too bad. I think it's on sale for $89. Yeah, that's not bad. And it's in stock. These keep going out of stock. So this could even be something that is a good thing to have on hold in the background. Yeah, these are on sale right now because I think I paid $150 when I bought mine. So good food for thought if you're ready to really step up and get your live streaming going. All right, so digging in really quick, a couple of other things. I recently purchased a green screen, and I've been using that for doing like some of my video thumbnails and stuff like that. But later on, I want to play a little bit. I want to have a little bit more fun, especially on my Kudos Magazine Facebook page, where we might do some things of having like animation hanging out in the front, and then I'm a part of the animation, but just making it a little bit more playful, a little bit more lively. So I'm not looking to do like my green screen in the background for like a Zoom call. I'm thinking more like just for playful skits and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm actually feeling like a little kid when it comes to this thing. I was stunned on how easy it is to pop up. I don't quite have access to it. It's down below, but there's so much stuff in front of it. So it comes in this case like a shell, like a suitcase, and it has two little clasps that hold it down. And you literally pull on it, and it pulls up nearly effortlessly. And also when you go to retract it, super easy, like a light push down, and it goes right into this case. So it's not taking a lot of room, but it's easily available, and it's got some nice height on it. The quality is fantastic. It's almost like a vinyl versus a paper, so you're not getting any of those crinkles or wrinkles or stuff like that. I don't have to worry about any of that. And then when I'm done, I can move it out of the way and not have to stumble on it, which I love. You can see down at the bottom, it has like these two little feet right here. Those retract and kind of go parallel with the base of it. So it literally takes a minimal space. You could fit it in a closet, under a bed. It tucks away under a window, wherever works for you. All right, so I was bragging to you about the Stream Deck here. They do have a bundle, and that's something that I do want to share with you, is if you are in a situation of like adding on things, sometimes look and see if there's bundle deals that can save you money, whether you're buying it on Amazon or wherever you go. And then this is the Mac Mini that I have. What I recommend is try to get like the bigger RAM, higher speed, and for storage, just get an external drive, because you can worry about that later, but you want to make sure that you have the base of it working really, really well. And this is my old original Mac that I have right here. And then over in this section, I have, this is that C-Hub that I have. And this, let me see if I can zoom in here for a second. This is fantastic for me. Okay. But I had to yell at my kids, I'm live, because they're about screaming as loud as they can in the background. You'd think there's a rave party going on. Okay, so what's cool about this docking station is it does have an area for you to store for adding on your memory. So this is a more affordable way. This is the way that I went into doing it. But with the Mac Minis, it's limited on the number of ports. So when you start getting into streaming and bringing in this gear, you're going to have to bring in some sort of extra docking station, something to be able to connect all these devices to. So just be very conscious of that. I bought this one. It's great for just being able to stack my Mac Mini right on top of it, because I mean, you only have so much space that you can use on your desk, right? So for me, this is like the perfect little setup. And I still have a couple of ports open if I need to plug into. That might change if I start doing some of these crazy streams of like 5 cameras. But I'm not there right now, and I don't need it. But one day it would be fun, you know, especially like with interviews of imagine having your podcast set up and you have a camera at you, a camera at your guest, a camera pointing at both of you, a camera from behind the scenes, and then just, you know, using your your Stream Deck, and then just switching to each camera, just like you see on television. That is how you start taking your streams to this next level of, wow, what the heck is going on here? And then you'll see some other things that I do have in here, you know, for stands and arms and things like that. And it's continually evolving. So it's not a one and done, you know, situation of you're going to just do your stream live gear set up and then you're done with it. It's not how it works. You have lots of options that will continue to come out and inspire you to take your streaming to that next level. And that may be hard goods, or it may be software, or, you know, strategy, but be willing to learn and be willing to have some self-restraint, so that you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to get that Stream Deck now, and I want to get the new microphone, and I want to get a new keyboard. Just slow down, chipper. One little thing at a time, and then everything else will come together, and it'll work flawlessly. So I guess that's all that I have for you today. I just wanted to come out, hopefully inspire you to try a couple new things to add to your studio. I'd love to know from you, what is your next big thing that you want to get for your live streaming? Are you looking at updating your software to something like Ecamm, or do you need a new camera? What you got going on? Tell me, tell me, tell me. And in the meantime, just keep dreaming those big, beautiful dreams. Be happy and find something that you enjoy. I happen to enjoy the live streaming, and it's been an advantage for my agency in a lot of ways. Number one, where I started even getting into this, it was not for my quote unquote agency. It was for a project in our agency, which is Kudos Magazine, and that's focused on healthy, happy living. So we were doing a lot of these interviews, and prior to doing the live streaming, my formula was recording a video, possibly like an interview that I hosted with somebody, and then editing it and then uploading it. And over time, what I've been doing is switching to this different format of getting into live streaming and then extracting pieces of that live stream to use for smaller clips and pushing it out that way. The benefit is there's less editing, which can be very time consuming. Even editing, let's say a half-hour video and then rendering it, the rendering would take like 2-3 hours. It's time consuming. And with the live streaming, it's just seamless. It's done. But what I have been hearing from many of the live streaming pro gurus is the formula that we should all be looking at doing for success is a combination of live streaming and then infusing some pre-recorded videos. So that's something that I'm going to start working on in this upcoming month, is getting back into doing some of the pre-recorded video along with the live streaming. And like I was saying to you before, it was very helpful, the live streaming, to be able to do this, on the Kudos part. And then I kind of started shifting gears and then getting into doing some of these little tutorials, through my agency page. And that's been interesting because for so long, I was just focused on the Kudos magazine and not necessarily promoting my agency and the things that we did. Often these were things that I would do, but it was in the background for somebody else's content. And now it's like, no, okay, we're going to talk about it here. So it's kind of fun. Makes it a little bit interesting and all that fun stuff. So, all right. Well, for those of you that tuned in live, I'm grateful that you're here with me live. And we got an awesome, I don't know when you put it out there, but awesome. I'm glad that you came in. It's been an interesting little live stream. I even had a chance to look through and discover, there's some things that I'm still going to be updating in my studio space, but I'm going to use the art of restraint, just do a little bit every single day. All right, you guys, that's all that I have for you today. I'm glad that you tuned in. In the meantime, make sure you be good, be happy, and most definitely be blessed. Take care of yourself, you guys. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye.